Well, Joey, I'm sure you remember, since it's like fresh on everyone's mind, the whole bird incident and how I'm not that great of a caretaker even after, me changing a little bit of myself for the better.
You mean letting the bird die? You let the bird die. That's what happened.
Okay, we don't have to be so, forward with what we say. Anyway, I own up to what happened with the bird. I own up to what happened with Chris and how I gave him away as a baby. And now I'm finally making a conscious effort to become a caretaker and show you and the world that I can take care of things without harming them or without exhibiting neglect in any way. I want to tap into the instinct that's in me to take care of something.
All right. Cool. That's respectable, commendable, admirable. How do you expect, what, how? Like you're gonna adopt another pet, a puppy or something? Try to do it again? Hamster? Tamagotchi?
No. Although this is a breathing, living thing, it's not a breathing, living thing in, let's say, a bird and a baby. I got myself a houseplant. Take a look.
Nice. All right. Yeah, you gotta water it. Make sure you change the dirt or so. I've never had a plant. I've had cactuses, but I've never had a plant. Okay. So, a plant.
Yes, a plant. I don't know. The person in the store told me what the name of it, but I don't remember what the name is. That doesn't matter. What matters is I'm going to take care of this. I know it may sound silly that I'm taking care of a plant, but consider it training wheels. This is I think plants have consciousness, honestly. So I want to show you that I won't let this plant die. I won't.
Okay. That's a good plan. I like that. I respect what you're doing and what you're trying to do. But okay, let's say you do great with the plant. All goes well. What's after that? Like I said, Tamagotchi or something, or Chia Pet?
Okay. Well, I haven't thought past the plant thing, but I'm thinking, after the plant, I will get like a pet. Like, more than just a bird. And, I will show you all, not that I'm trying to prove myself to you, but I will show you as well that I can take care of an actual living, breathing thing. Not that I was terrible with Chris. Like, when I had Chris, I think I was very good with him. But I want to redeem myself from the bird.
Nah, I don't think that you were bad with Chris. Although I wasn't, like, in the picture a lot, but from the way you handled him around my mom and stuff, you were good. I don't know how you were with the bird. Obviously, that didn't end up well, but I will say you were good with Chris when you had him. So what happens after the plant? Like, let's say you graduate, this guy goes off to college or something, this plant. What next after that? Then pet?
Well, no, it's not plant, then pet. It's going to be plant, then we name the plant. Because I don't feel like I'm at the level where I want to be attached to this plant yet. But then we're going to name the plant. And then when we name the plant, we will live with him and I will show you that I can take care of something. And then I will move on to maybe a pet.
All right. That's a very mature thing that you've done. I think that you're being proactive and you're showing that you can change in that way. And I'm proud of you. Even though it's just a plant, it is a big baby step. Like, you wouldn't trust a toddler to take care of a plant, so you wouldn't even trust the kid to do that, so you're good. You're like a teen mom, almost.
Do you mean that? Or do you look at me like I'm a fool for, I don't know, humanizing a plant and trying to, like, prove myself in that way? I know it's silly, but I do want to, like, I don't know. exhibit that I can take care of something. I want to redeem myself.
Yeah, no, I mean every word. I'm genuinely this is the last thing I ever expected you to do. Come here with a plant and try to take care of something and prove that you can do this. But you're not just doing it for me, right? I don't want you to just try to exhibit that you can be a mom to me or something. Like, you should be doing it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that you care about my feedback and you care what I think, but still.
No, I'm not just doing it for you. I think that I harbor a lot of doubt in myself. Because even though I willingly gave up Chris and nothing happened to him, health-wise, there was no neglect there, thanks to your mom, that still engendered a lot of insecurity in me. Really. The second I gave him away, I felt like a failure. And then even though, it's just a bird, it's still a life. And I feel insecure with that too. So I'm doing this for me more than anyone else. Although there's a little bit of you in there too, it's mainly for me.
That's even better. That's even more mature. Emotional maturity. So is the plan a boy or a girl? Like your new kid over there.
The plant is a girl. The plant is a girl because I typically do not like females. So if I can like the plant and feel like a mom to it, then I won't be so scared to have a daughter one day, because I'm terrified of having a daughter, actually. As of late, it's like a new thing with me, I don't know.
Makes sense. I hope you wind up liking her. I like her. She's cute. Never said that about a plant before, but I think you can do this. I don't think that this is gonna be one of those times where you give me a call like, hey, I need you to save my dead plant. I think you got this. And again, I'm proud of you. Baby steps. If you can take care of this plant, I think you can definitely take care of a puppy or something, or a cat.
Thank you, Joey. I look forward to taking care of my new family member. Well, not officially adopted yet, but you know what I mean.
So what's happening now? You said that you heard back from the family who's suing you for what happened to the baby's mother in your church? Yeah. They actually reached out to me personally, without lawyers. And I gave them my condolences for what happened to the woman in my church and their family member, and we had a conversation. So they're suing you, but they also contacted you directly. About what? Are they actually gonna settle out of court like you want? Settling out of court is on the table, but they don't seem 100% with that yet. But they did say that I could adopt a baby since I put that offer out there. So I'm assuming if I want to settle out of court, the baby might be part of that deal. Talk about a family who doesn't care about family. Oh. Okay. That definitely wasn't on my bingo card. I guess in hindsight, I can see why they would give the baby to you. You run a mega church, or Institute of Faith, sorry, and you're happily married. You're not that old. I guess it makes sense. Yes. The problem here, which is something I didn't foresee, is that I don't want to adopt a baby. Yeah. So now I have that. Yeah. That is a problem. Why did you agree? I mean, I get it. I remember what you said. You were going to offer to adopt them and you thought they were going to say no, but then you would tell the church that you were adopting the baby and you would look good. You didn't anticipate that they would actually allow you to adopt the baby. Right. Right. I wanted to do the right thing. extend an offer. Let the people of the Serafina Town Institute of Fate know that I was willing to make things right. But never did I think that they would say, yeah, go ahead, take the baby. So yeah, that's on me. Alright, so what do you do? Because now if you say, actually, I can't, I mean, people are going to see right through you. I mean, they could be honestly just trying to call you bluff and get more money out of you. This is something that happened to me not too long ago. So I obviously need some time to figure it out. But I will figure it out. I always do. No matter how many times my back is against the wall, and no matter how many times things look like there's an impossible mountain to climb, I always climb it, no matter what Nanny Agatha or that horrible family puts in front of me, no matter what red tape is put around my institute. I'll figure it out. I don't envy your position, but please do not stand here and think that by calling me here and telling me this, that I've changed my mind on adopting that baby. Because Tiffany talks sense to me. I can't. I have my own daughter out there. I want to have children with Tiffany. I feel bad for the baby who lost her mother and doesn't have a father. But I can't swoop in and be the white knight to save that baby too. Of course, I understand your position. I understand where you stand with your daughter. Even though you told me you would stop looking for her. I get it. No one wants a baby that's not family to be thrown on their lap. But can I say something that might change your mind just a little bit? Because you have to admit, I do have to stand here and at least attempt to get you to think about it. Because if you were to adopt this miracle baby who survived the tragedy of her mother dying in our institute, the Montgomerys look amazing. Not that that's all that matters, but we not only look amazing to the people, we look amazing to God. So can I just say something? You can say whatever you want, Uncle, but there's no changing my mind on this, but yeah, go ahead. Okay. Hypothetically, the paternity test that you took was fudged by Nanny Agatha in some way, and you're not the father of your daughter, and you have no kids out there, and you're in your almost mid-30s. Let me stop you. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that she's possibly not my daughter. No, we're past that. Please, please. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm not trying to rile you up, and I'm not trying to be offensive. I know what buttons to not push. I'm just throwing out a hypothetical situation for you to think about. That's all. Because crazier things have happened in this town than Nanny Agatha fudging test results. So can I just continue? Go ahead. Okay. Hypothetically, in a whole different universe, a different timeline, right? Your paternity test results aren't accurate. And that little daughter of yours who was taken away from you by Miranda is not your daughter. You have no kids. You were in the middle of your 30s with no children. And now there's this baby who happened to be the outcome of a circumstance that is straight out of hell. Her mom died giving birth in our institute in front of thousands of people as the ushers were shutting the doors and no one had service to call 911. Horrible to be born into something like that, right? You wouldn't consider that because you have Charlotte, but if Charlotte wasn't yours, that does lead us all to ask the question whether or not you may actually be infertile. So having kids may not even be a realistic option for you in the future, but you would have this miracle baby born into tragedy, needing a family, a miracle dad coming to the rescue. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to plant the seeds in my head, get some doubt, make me feel old, like I need to have a baby right now. Well, newsflash, I do have a baby. She looks like me. She's got my characteristics already, even at a young age. Believe me, I know. Because at that time when I had her in my house, and she was mine, and only mine, I bonded with her. I learned about her. I felt it. I may have taken a paternity test in the past, and you may think it's fake. But just looking at her and being with her in that time period, I realized I didn't need to take a paternity test because the truth is right there on her face. So stop with that. You're not gonna fearmonger me into adopting a baby who suffered a terrible tragedy, but she'll find a home. And right now, everyone thinks that home is gonna be your home because you put your foot in your mouth. Very sweet. That's some real Hallmark Channel monologue right there. Heartwarming. I just had to throw out that scenario and make the offer, that's all. For the baby's sake. Well, I thank you for the offer, but yeah, I'm not taking the baby. I have to find my daughter, but also I don't know how you're gonna get out of this one. You say you have your ways, but it's gonna be hard to protect your image when you said you were gonna adopt a baby and now you're changing your mind on them. Can't hide that from the people. I don't have a choice. I have to get out of this because I'm not adopting a baby. My mistake for offering it to them. See how this goes. Hopefully without the adoption they'll still settle out of court, but we'll see. I still have one other person I want to ask. You know, I never balk at the notion to have you sit at my table, beg, grovel, for whatever it is you want. You know, I don't really think that's any way to start off negotiations or having a civil meeting between two families. Negotiations, that's a strong word for someone who has no leverage whatsoever in this town. You run an institute of faith. That's it. It's a business. You don't hold any authority. My family does. My mother does. So what are you negotiating? This is true. This is very true. Your family, your mother specifically, holds a lot of unregulated authority over the medical industry in this town. It's interesting, actually, you know. New pill has to get approved, she can just say yes. Procedure gets banned, she can say yes. No oversight whatsoever. I guess it's because she's on very good behavior, right? I'm glad you're aware of all of that, but there's really no need for you to remind me because I'm aware of it as well. I'm just saying you might want to enjoy the power in your family while it lasts, because all it takes is a little corruption to dethrone your gray-haired mother. I'm glad you think that. But even as her daughter, me, I've been trying for years to dethrone her. I can't even get power in my own family. You're sitting here talking about someone else outside of my family doing it. Well, good luck to you, but is that all you came here to do? Bring up the obvious? No, I've actually, like you said, come here to ask, not beg, but ask, and to make an offer to you. First of all, let me get the asking out of the way. We had a tragedy in the Institute of Faith. But I've come to learn that the mother had a severe case of preeclampsia, which some would say, well, my lawyers, I guess, would say that her preeclampsia, which you've had some in your family, right? Your daughter-in-law? Some would say her preeclampsia would have been unpreventable even in the hospital. So even if she was giving birth in the hospital, she might have still not made it through.
Okay. It gets juicier now, I see. Someone passes away in your church due to neglect, I would say. You prevented them from getting adequate medical help. You had your ushers close the door as this woman was giving birth. And now your lawyers are twisting it to be her fault, or twisting it in a way that this was something that could not have been prevented anyway. Take it all off your shoulders, huh?
That's not what my lawyer is drumming. He's not pulling that out of thin air. He's actually spoken to doctors in town.
You're probably paying those doctors, aren't you? You know, if those are the type of doctors that they are, my mother could probably pull them aside and say, don't you dare talk to that family. Don't deal with his lawyers.
You're right. Your mom could swoop in and tell those doctors not to work with my lawyer, right? I mean, it is a free country too, so I don't really know how that would work, but why would she get involved with something like that if these doctors are saying the truth? This woman had the worst blood pressure, whatever they found in the results after her death. They say it was preeclampsia that probably did it. She had that throughout her whole pregnancy, so I don't necessarily know whether or not being in my institute killed her. Does that make sense?
All of that aside, that's just information. That's just your personal legal battle. I really couldn't care less. Maybe my mom will show some interest in it just out of spite. I don't know. I want to know why you're at the table right now talking to me about it.
Well, I say this because technically the baby survived, very healthy. We technically had a natural birth. We've proven that we can have a natural birth on our campus, which I think warrants looking into the possibility of letting us open the natural birth wing, maybe even in the memory of this woman.
Oh, okay. I see what else you're trying to do. You had such a terrible tragedy in your institute to the point where personally, I would have you shut down. I know in my heart you instructed the ushers, or your quote-unquote priest, to tell the ushers to lock those doors and not let anyone out so that you could have your miracle baby, not ever thinking that maybe that mother needed some medical attention. But now you're choosing to focus on the fact that the baby survived, that you had a miracle baby in your church, a natural birth on a technicality. You're spinning it so you can get your little wing.
No, I'm not trying to spin it. I'm just telling you facts. I want you to run it by your mother since she doesn't take meetings with me.
Okay, well, even without asking her right now, I can pretty much guarantee that she will not approve your natural birth wing, especially after you had a death in your institute. Someone giving birth. I'm sorry. I think I know my mother well enough to what she's going to approve and not approve. And even if that day that woman survived, she had twins or something, my mother still wanted to help you. She doesn't like your family. You know the history there.
Still, just ask. I'm trying to work with you guys, okay? I understand that there's a possibility no corruption will ever come out on your mom. She could live another 10 years and oversee all the medical crap for another decade. So I'm really trying to be a big boy and work with you. And all I want is to grow my institute. And growing my institute includes opening that natural birth wing. It means something to me to bring life into this town, to be part of that. I'll ask, but what was the offer also? You said he had something else, right? The thing that I wanted to offer, in addition to just see if you would ask your mother. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I said that I would adopt the baby out of the kindness of my heart, never thinking that the family would allow that. But they have. I don't mean to say this to be insensitive to you, but it's common knowledge that you lost a grandson. It's gotta be tough. And to go the rest of your life without a little one, you know what I mean? Why don't you adopt the baby? Why don't we work together in that way? You could take in the baby, take care of it, give your life a little bit more purpose. I had a grandson. The only time I would welcome another baby into my family is if one of my kids had it. I'm not adopting a baby. Especially not to help you or make you look better. Take the guilt off of your hands and, oh, you swooped in and found a home for the baby. No, I won't be a part of that. What about your son? Would he want to adopt? I'm sure he misses his son. He never had a daughter. He's never going to see Miranda again. There's a daughter right there. No mom, no, that he would never, think about it this way too. He would never have to deal with custody or anything because that family doesn't want the baby. He could have full custody and give himself purpose. I wouldn't really, no. I wouldn't like that. Can I talk to your son? No, you cannot talk to him. You have no privilege to. Alright. I guess I have to figure out what to do about my now offer on the table there to the family. Please ask your mother about the wing. We had a natural birth and it wasn't our fault that woman passed away. She had underlying health conditions. The baby made it. She's a miracle. She needs a home too. It's a good meeting. Good seeing you. And I do hope, you know what, as a person of God, I hope that the corruption on your mother doesn't come out. And I hope she stays in power for a very long time. But something tells me that won't be the case. No. I think you should just go back to your little institute of faith and feed people whatever information you're going to feed them and try to sway them, this and that. And leave me alone. Leave my family alone. Sorry for the tragedy that what happened. I feel terrible for that woman. Terrible for the baby, but you're not going to use us to better you. And I will ask my mother that ridiculous question that you want me to ask her, and that's it.